Well, good evening. I just received very interesting information from a guy who reached out to me that used to work at the city of Chicago shelters, and he was one of the main PMOs. There was 27 shelters, so we're going to do a story on this later. But I just want to share the notes. I just got off the phone with this guy, and he was making $360,000 a year to manage the shelters. There was 27 shelters at one point in time. I think a lot of this stuff some of the people from Chicago knew. So there was like a main PMO that worked at every shelter, and these guys would work 12 and a half hours a day. They would get hotels, Airbnb, cars, food. So it's probably $500,000 at least in expenses per year. They're on 30-day contracts because it's considered classified as an emergency, so they get paid premiums for that. Let's see here. So each shelter actually has a project manager. It makes 360. Actually, it went down to 330,000 a few years ago. So there's 27 shelters. Then there's two project managers, one that works the day shift, one that works the night shift. $275,000 a year. Then there's supervisor operations staff, one that does operations, one that manages the staff. $200,000 a year. Then you got the security guard. So he told me that they had guard services. And depending, he was in a smaller one. They have, sometimes they have 2 to 4 guards per shift. There was many times where guards don't even show up. And so they would report it. And the person from the city would say, it's not your job. It's not your business to report it. So he's under the assumption that they're still getting paid even when their guards don't show up, which I find appalling. What else do we have here? The Haitians were the biggest problems. The Haitians. So Trump was right. The Haitians are the biggest problems. What else we got here? Oh, so a couple of years ago, all of these shelter illegal people were getting $2,000 on a credit card. They came from the government, transferred through an NGO. He also said a number of NGOs are getting money from our federal government tax dollars, and it's a way to hide it and bury it in and pay them. When they fly to Chicago, all these employees, they all get cars. They get their own cars, every one of them, even if there's a bunch of them working in one location. Even if they don't really need them, they get a car the whole time that they're there. There's one case where somebody was managing a shelter and they're extorting money from refugees. I'm going to be getting more information. I just got off the phone with this guy. I just want to share these notes. It's very important. I'm going to get some videos and other things that I'm going to share once I get them from these guys. They treat their wives and kids really badly, physically abusive. And I think those of you who follow the show know that from the FOIAs that we get. It's kind of disgusting, isn't it? As I get more information, I do have more information on FOIAs about Catholic Charities and a couple other organizations that are getting FEMA money. So we're going to have a story come on that as well. So take care.